What if I told you that the reason you can't seem to stick to new habits, the gym membership that gathers dust, the book that stays unread on your nightstand, the New Year's resolutions that fizzle out by February? What if I told you it has absolutely nothing to do with your motivation? What if it has nothing to do with your willpower, your discipline, or how badly you want it? What if the real reason is a flawed, invisible system you're unknowingly using every single day? A system that's actively working against you, making success almost impossible. It's a frustrating feeling, isn't it? You set a big goal, you're excited, you start strong, and then life happens. You miss a day, then two, and before you know it, you're right back where you started, feeling like a failure and telling yourself, maybe I just don't have what it takes. Well, today we're going to dismantle that lie, because the problem isn't you. The problem is your system. And by the end of this deep dive, you will have a complete step-by-step framework for building any habit you want, and just as importantly, breaking any habit you don't. This isn't about trying harder. This is about building a system that makes success the path of least resistance. This is about making good habits inevitable and bad habits impossible. And our guide for this transformational journey is James Clear in his landmark, multi-million copy best-selling book, Atomic Habits, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones. Clear isn't just a philosopher. He's an engineer of human behavior. He spent years experimenting with his own habits, researching psychology and neuroscience, and distilling it all down into a breathtakingly simple and practical system. He's not here to give you raw motivation. He's here to give you a user manual for your own brain. So, what is the book's one big idea? It's this: forget about massive, life-altering changes. The real secret to long-term success is getting just 1% better every single day. These tiny atomic habits seem insignificant on their own, but when they compound over months and years, they create results so powerful they look like an overnight success to the outside world. To truly understand and apply this, we're going to structure our deep dive around three core parts. First, we'll explore that mind-bending concept, the surprising power of 1% improvements. We'll see the math and the real-world proof of why small habits make a huge difference. Second, we will dive deep into the heart of the book, the 4 laws of behavior change. This is the practical, tactical framework you can start using today. We'll cover each law, make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying with actionable steps for each. And finally, we'll uncover what Clear calls the ultimate key to lasting change, the power of identity-based habits. This is the shift that takes you from someone who does a habit to someone who is the habit. By the end of this, you won't just have a summary, you'll have a new lens through which to see your entire life. Ready? Let's get started. Golden nugget number 1, the surprising power of atomic habits, the 1% rule. Okay, so let's tackle that central idea first, the power of getting 1% better. It sounds almost too simple, right? A 1% improvement is barely noticeable. If you go to the gym for 20 minutes today, you won't be fit tomorrow. If you study Spanish for 15 minutes tonight, you won't be fluent next week. Our brains are wired for immediate results, so we dismiss these tiny actions as pointless. But this is where we make a fundamental mistake. We failed to appreciate the power of compounding. Think of it like compound interest in your savings account. A few extra dollars today doesn't look like much. But over 40 years, that small, consistent deposit grows into a fortune. Habits work the exact same way. James Clear puts the math like this. If you can get just 1% better each day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time you're done. That's not 365% better. It's 3,700% better. The growth is exponential. Conversely, if you get 1% worse each day,
by eating junk food, by scrolling on your phone instead of connecting with your partner, by hitting snooze, you'll decline down to almost zero. The most powerful story Clear uses to illustrate this is the incredible turnaround of British cycling. For nearly 100 years, British cycling was the laughingstock of the professional world. They had won just a single gold medal in their entire history. No French company would even sell them bikes for fear it would hurt their brand if other pros saw the British using them. They were utterly mediocre. Then, in 2003, they hired a new performance director named Sir Dave Brailsford. His strategy was something he called the aggregation of marginal gains. His philosophy was simple. If you break down everything you could think of that goes into riding a bike and then improve it by just 1%, you will get a significant increase when you put them all together. And he meant everything. They didn't just redesign the bike seats to be more comfortable and the tires to be lighter. No, they went deeper. They tested different massage gels to see which one led to the fastest muscle recovery. They hired a surgeon to teach the athletes the proper way to wash their hands to reduce the chance of getting sick. They determined the best pillow and mattress that led to the optimal night's sleep for each rider. They even painted the inside of the team truck white to make it easier to spot tiny specks of dust that could compromise the finely tuned bikes. On the surface, these changes seemed trivial, almost obsessive, but the results, they were anything but. Just 5 years after Brailsford took over, the British cycling team dominated the 2008 Beijing Olympics, winning a staggering 60% of the gold medals available. They followed it up with similar success in London 2012, and then, over the next decade, won 5 Tour de France titles. It was one of the most successful runs in cycling history. So what does this mean for you? It means you need to stop focusing on the big breakthrough and start focusing on the marginal gain. You need to stop trying to write a book and start by writing 1 paragraph. You need to stop trying to get a six-pack and start by doing 1 push-up. You need to stop trying to revolutionize your life overnight. The question you should be asking yourself every day is not, how can I achieve my massive goal today? But rather, what is the 1% improvement I can make today? This is the foundation. Your habits are the compound interest of self-improvement.
Now, before we dive into the how, the 4 laws that let you build these 1% habits, we need to quickly address the elephant in the room: goals. We're all taught to set big, ambitious, audacious goals, right? I want to lose 50 pounds. I want to make $1 million. But Clear makes a radical argument. Goals are for setting a direction, but systems are for making progress. Think about it. Winners and losers in every field often have the exact same goals. Every Olympian wants to win a gold medal. Every job applicant wants to get the job. If successful and unsuccessful people share the same goals, then the goal cannot be what differentiates them. The difference is the system of continuous small improvements that they follow. Your commitment to the process will determine your progress. This brings us perfectly to the core of the book. If the goal is the destination, these 4 laws are the GPS that will guide you there, step by step. Golden nugget number 2. The 4 laws of behavior change. This is the engine room of atomic habits, the practical, actionable part. Clear breaks down any habit into a 4-step loop: cue, craving, response, and reward. And to build a good habit, we need to hack this loop. This gives us the 4 laws. To build a good habit, we must make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, make it satisfying. To break a bad habit, we simply invert them. Make it invisible, unattractive, difficult, and unsatisfying. Let's break down each one. The first law. Most of our habits are so ingrained they're automatic. You don't consciously decide to check your phone when it buzzes, you just do it. The buzz is the cue that triggers the habit. To build a new habit, we need to create an obvious cue for it. The most powerful cues are time and location. So the best way to make a habit obvious is to use a simple formula Clear calls habit stacking. The formula is, after current habit, I will new habit. Your current habits are already hardwired into your brain. You can use them as the trigger for the new behavior you want to introduce. Instead of, I will meditate more, it becomes, after I pour my morning cup of coffee, I will meditate for 1 minute. Instead of, I should read more, it becomes, after I get into bed at night, I will read 1 page of a book. Instead of, I need to network more, it becomes, after I finish my lunch, I will send 1 email to a colleague or contact. You see how specific that is? The cue is crystal clear. The when and where are defined. Another crucial part of making it obvious is to design your environment. You are more a product of your environment than you think. If you walk into your kitchen and the first thing you see is a cookie jar on the counter, what are you going to crave? If you sit on your couch and the TV remote is right there, what are you likely to do? We need to be the architect of our environment, not the victim of it. So for you, this means, if you want to practice guitar more, don't leave it in the case in the closet. Put it on a stand in the middle of your living room. Make it more obvious than the TV remote. If you want to drink more water, fill up a water bottle and place it on your desk every morning. Make it visible. If you want to stop eating junk food, that's the inversion. Make it invisible. Don't just rely on willpower. Get it out of your house. Put the healthy food at eye level in your fridge and the treats in the vegetable crisper where you can't see them. The first step to change is awareness. Make the cues for your good habits obvious and the cues for your bad habits invisible.
The second law. Okay, so you've made the cue obvious, but why does your brain even care? The engine of behavior is the craving, and cravings are driven by a neurotransmitter you've probably heard of, dopamine. When we anticipate a reward, our brain releases dopamine. It's not just the reward itself, it's the anticipation of the reward that drives us to act. This is why social media is so addictive. The red notification icon promises a potential social reward, a little dopamine hit, and we find it irresistible. We can use this to our advantage with a strategy Clear calls temptation bundling. This is where you pair an action you want to do with an action you need to do. The formula is, after I do 30 minutes of cardio on the treadmill, need, I will get to watch 1 episode of my favorite Netflix show, want. After I process all my work emails, need, I will get to spend 15 minutes on Instagram, want. After I meal prep for the week on Sunday, need, I will get to have a bubble bath and listen to a podcast, want. By bundling the temptation with the habit, you make the habit itself more attractive because you start to associate it with the reward that comes after. The other powerful way to make a habit attractive is to join a culture where your desired behavior is the normal behavior. Humans are herd animals. We have a deep, primal desire to fit in. We subconsciously adopt the habits of the people around us. If everyone in your friend group smokes, you're more likely to smoke. If everyone in your office eats healthy for lunch, you're more likely to do the same. So for you, this means if you want to get fit, join a CrossFit gym, a running club, or a cycling group. When you're surrounded by people who show up every day, that becomes the new normal. It makes the habit incredibly attractive. If you want to read more, join a book club. The social expectation will pull you along. If you want to be more entrepreneurial, join a mastermind group or a co-working space with other founders. You want to surround yourself with people for whom your desired habit is their way of life. It's the fastest way to make it attractive to your own brain.
All right, we've made our new habit obvious and attractive. This is great for getting started. It builds that initial momentum, but what happens on day 10? When it's raining outside, you're tired, and the last thing you want to do is go for that run. Motivation is fickle. It won't always be there for you. This is where the third law comes in. And for many people, it's the most powerful of all. It's all about making it so easy you can't say no. The third law. Human beings are fundamentally wired to follow the law of least effort. We will naturally gravitate towards the option that requires the least amount of work. It's not laziness, it's efficiency. Our brains are designed to conserve energy. This is why you're more likely to scroll TikTok for an hour than you are to write your novel for an hour. One is frictionless, the other is full of friction. To build good habits, we must reduce the friction associated with them. Every habit is a series of steps.
Your job is to eliminate as many steps as possible between you and the desired behavior. Want to go to the gym in the morning? Don't just set an alarm. Lay out your workout clothes, fill your water bottle, and put your gym bag by the door the night before. Reduce the friction so you can just get up and go. Want to eat healthier? Don't rely on your willpower after a long day at work. Spend an hour on Sunday chopping vegetables and prepping healthy meals. When you're hungry and tired, the easy option becomes the healthy option. To break a bad habit, you do the opposite. You increase the friction. Want to watch less TV? Don't just try to resist. Unplug the TV after you use it. Even better, take the batteries out of the remote and put them in another room. That little bit of added friction is often enough to make you reconsider. Want to use your phone less? Don't keep it on your desk. Put it in a drawer or in another room while you work. When you have to physically get up to check it, you'll do it less often. But the most brilliant strategy under this law is what Clear calls the 2-minute rule. It states, when you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. This is a game changer. The goal is not to achieve a result right away. The goal is to master the art of showing up. A new habit should not feel like a challenge. Read before bed every night becomes read 1 page. Run a 5K becomes put on my running shoes. Do 30 minutes of yoga becomes take out my yoga mat. Write a novel becomes write 1 sentence. Anyone can read 1 page. Anyone can put on their running shoes. The point is that you are standardizing the beginning of the ritual. You are not trying to form the habit of running a 5K. You are forming the habit of putting on your shoes. Once you've started, it's much easier to continue. On some days, you'll just put on your shoes and that's it. And that's a win. On other days, you'll feel like going for the run. The so what for you is this. Stop trying to build the perfect habit from day one. Scale it down to a 2-minute version. Master the first 2 minutes, the rest will follow. The 4th law. We've reached the final and most crucial law for making a habit stick. This law closes the loop. It's all about the reward. The cardinal rule of behavior change is this. What is immediately rewarded is repeated. What is immediately punished is avoided. Here's the problem with most good habits. The reward is delayed. The benefit of working out is a healthy body in the future. The benefit of saving money is financial freedom years from now. The benefit of avoiding dessert is better health weeks from now. But our brains didn't evolve for delayed gratification. They evolved to survive in an immediate return environment. We want the payoff now. This is why bad habits are so easy to form. The reward is immediate. The cigarette gives an instant nicotine hit. The donut provides an immediate sugar rush. The consequences are all delayed. So, to make a good habit stick, you need to find a way to give yourself an immediate reward. The feeling of success needs to be immediate. One of the best ways to do this is with a habit tracker. This can be a simple calendar where you put an X on every day you complete your habit, or a journal, or moving a paperclip from one jar to another. The mechanism doesn't matter. What matters is the visual evidence of your progress. That little X is a small, immediate reward. It's a vote you cast for your new identity. It feels good. The goal of the habit tracker is simple. Don't break the chain. Seeing that unbroken chain of X's is incredibly satisfying and motivates you to keep going. And if you do miss a day, life happens. The most important rule is never miss twice. Missing once is an accident. Missing twice is the start of a new habit. Get back on track immediately. So for you, this means if your habit is to avoid impulse buys, create a separate savings account named European Vacation. Every time you resist a purchase, immediately transfer the money you would have spent into that account. You get an instant hit of satisfaction seeing that balance grow. If your habit is to write 1,000 words a day, the act itself may not be satisfying at the moment, but marking it complete on your tracker or telling an accountability partner gives you that immediate win. You have to make progress satisfying. If a habit isn't rewarding, you have no reason to do it again.
Okay, let's zoom out for a second. We've covered a lot. The power of 1% gains, the 4 laws make it obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. It's tempting to see these as just a collection of clever life hacks, but their true power is unlocked when you see how they work together as a single, powerful system. But there's one final layer, a master key that locks all of this into place and creates change that truly lasts.
Golden nugget number 3. The ultimate secret. Identity-based habits. Clear argues that there are 3 layers of behavior change. The first is changing your outcomes. This is about the result: losing weight, publishing a book, winning a championship. Most of the goals we set are at this level. The second is changing your process. This is about your habits and systems, implementing a new routine at the gym, your writing schedule. This is what the 4 laws are all about. But the deepest layer, the most powerful one, is changing your identity. This is about your beliefs, your self-image, the things you believe about yourself. Most people start on the outside and try to work their way in. They set an outcome-based goal. I want to lose 30 pounds, and then try to build processes around it. The problem is, if your identity is still that of a person who isn't a gym person, you're constantly fighting yourself. True behavior change is identity change. You need to start from the inside out. The goal is not to read a book. The goal is to become a reader. The goal is not to run a marathon. The goal is to become a runner. The goal is not to learn an instrument. The goal is to become a musician. Clear tells a powerful story about 2 people trying to quit smoking. When offered a cigarette, the first person says, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit." This person still sees themselves as a smoker who is trying to change. Their identity is in conflict with their action. The second person says, "No thanks, I'm not a smoker." Do you feel the difference? It's a small change in language, but it represents a profound shift in identity. The behavior is no longer something they are doing, it's a reflection of who they are. So how do you build a new identity? It's a simple 2-step process. Decide the type of person you want to be. I want to be a healthy person. I want to be a productive person. I want to be a kind person. And prove it to yourself with small wins. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. Every time you go to the gym, even for 5 minutes, you are casting a vote for, I am a healthy person. Every time you choose a salad over fries, you are casting a vote for, I am a healthy person. Every time you write one sentence, you are casting a vote for, I am a writer. Every time you put on your running shoes, you are casting a vote for, I am a runner. The habits are not the goal. The habits are the path to embodying a new identity.
So, as you can see, it all comes back to that simple idea we started with: getting just 1% better every day. It's not just about accumulating marginal gains that lead to a better outcome. It's about accumulating evidence for your desired identity. You use the 4 laws, make it obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying, to engineer a system that makes casting those votes as frictionless as possible. You start with a 2-minute version of the habit to make it easy. You use a habit tracker to make it satisfying. You use temptation bundling to make it attractive. You use habit stacking to make it obvious. Each tiny atomic habit isn't just a habit, it's a fundamental building block of the new you. You are literally building a new identity, one small action at a time. This is the real power of atomic habits. So my challenge to you is not to go out and change your entire life tomorrow. That's the old way of thinking. That's the system that fails. Your challenge for today is a 2-minute mission. I want you to pick just one habit you want to build, just one, and apply the 2-minute rule. Want to read more? Your mission is not to read a chapter. It's to open a book and read one page. Want to get in shape? Your mission is not to do a 30-minute workout. It's to put on your workout clothes. Want to keep a cleaner home? Your mission is not to clean the whole house. It's to put one dish in the dishwasher. Want to learn to meditate? Your mission is to sit and breathe for 60 seconds. That's it. Make it so easy you can't say no. Start casting a vote for the person you want to become. And to make it real, I want you to post the 2-minute habit you are committing to in the comments below. Let's build a community of people taking that first tiny step. Let's prove that small wins lead to big changes.
Thank you so much for investing your time with me today for this deep dive into atomic habits. I hope you found it as transformative as I did. This book truly provides a blueprint for real, lasting change. If you got value from this video, the single best way to support the channel is to hit that like button. It really helps us reach more people. And if you want more deep dives like this on the world's most impactful books, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next one. Our next video will be a deep dive into another monumental book on productivity, Cal Newport's Deep Work. We'll explore how to cultivate the superpower of intense focus in a world full of distraction. You won't want to miss it. Thanks again for watching. Now go start your 2-minute mission. I'll see you in the next video.